So why do you think the dogs bit me? And I'll tell you why I got bit. Things that I would have done different. Right now, Jamarcus is sitting down on a futon that I set up so that my boy Tron and Ego can lay on at night. Put a nice cover on there so they feel warm. One of the reasons that I believe the dogs, again, were incited by rage, fear, they were frightened, was because the house is overstimulating. And when a dog gets into an overstimulated state of being, what ends up happening? Reactivity. So mind you, I didn't have my hood up, I didn't have any hat on, my face was visible. But if you walk out the door at the time, it was a 3 to 5 second window for them to basically get from in here to out there, and nothing was done to them, to be clear, nothing. So, and when I say done to them, you say, man, what happened to them? Which I was sitting down, as I repeat, cooking bacon, didn't say nothing to them, but they were in a heightened state of just anxiousness. Imagine you're a kid, somebody blares music at the highest level. That's the first time you ever hear music. You know, one of my favorite movies back in the day was something about Mary. Remember what happened when they grabbed old boy's earmuffs? Because the world is a very loud place. He went WWE on them jokers. WWF at the time, I believe. But when I tell you, that's kind of how the dogs are. So one of the things that I've done, and let me tell you a little bit about one of my steps. Normally when I get a new puppy, I isolate the puppy. And I build my bond with them separate of the other dogs. I then bring them slowly into the pack. Ego, move. Hey, move. I then slowly bring them into the pack and watch how they engage, interact, how they manage themselves. Then I take them back. So the whole time I'm learning about how they're thinking, what they're doing, behavior, so I can properly manage their engagement. Let me be very clear and say, I normally don't keep 2 dogs from any litters. Me personally, it will never happen again. Probably till generation 6, maybe 6 or 7. Because 5 will be where we begin, 6 or 7 will be where we're on to something. And even then, we've got some good kennel partners. So I might put some of the dogs I believe we need in certain spaces. You saw the video with Chris Moore about what to keep out of a litter so that you can really focus and concentrate on your look or your bloodline per se, or just consistency. That's all a bloodline is, consistency. Along with, you know, other attributes. We'll talk about that in another video. So the dogs come in here, as I showed you in another video, reenacting, and Bam Bam's losing his crap. I try to grab him. He's got no neck. And one of the things I normally do is I'll grab the dog by its neck, close its mouth to calm it down, but my hand, my thumb, got stuck in the back part of his mouth, because at the same time I'm not in an angry state of being. You know, like when you get angry, you start doing more things, you're more capable, you want it to stop. I was just like, yo, what are you doing, man? Like, he's backing up, he's backing up, he's backing up, he's hooping and hollering. He's in a frightened state. Okay, we have a problem. We definitely have a problem here. And Chris Moore, he says, you know, something could potentially be off. Stay tuned as we continue this story, okay? So, as I was saying, they bit me because of the way that their dad's been put together. And here's what happens when you mix a confident dog, which is their mother, that's why they can do the things they do, with the insecure dog. Man, you could run into some risk, especially when you're trying to build the dog's confidence up. But the number one thing that you actually have to bet on or work through is the fear. So if I know that they're going to be confident in some form or fashion, I actually have to double down and make sure they're really confident by removing all insecurities early on. And as I said in the video, we didn't do enough. We just didn't. They needed to be out more. They needed to see more things. They needed to be visible to the earth, to the world, to the environment. They need to get comfortable with noises. They're too barky, they're too jumpy, they're too this or too that, and their dad's the same way. Baloo would literally run under the bed. If like there was a bed, I was in the room he used to stay in, he'll literally run under the bed. Literally. If something happened one night, Baloo took off when he was a puppy. I didn't even know where the Joker went. Some dogs had ran at the front door at Jamarcus's house. Something happened. I moved one out the way, and Baloo took off, and I couldn't find him. I mean, I had his neighbor, and he was just across the street in the bush. He's like, bro, what are you doing? And he's so small, mind you. He's grown. He's 2 years old, and he's 14 inches tall. When he was under a year, he's like a chihuahua running around. So you go, we've got a problem here. So why do you think they bit me? They bit me because I didn't calm them down, to be clear. They bit me because they're insecure, lack confidence, and they bit me because the overstimulating in this environment. And is it a problem? Of course it's a problem. Is it, put it like this, it's an issue. I know how to solve an issue. We get too many problems, we've got to do something different. They're fine. I showed on a live on Instagram, even moments after the, we'll say, the attack. No, they didn't attack me. Well, they did a little bit. After the attack, that they were fine. They literally come out, didn't harm them. I was more confused, and as I said, disappointed. That is the truth. Take a lot to disappoint me, because I have expectations. Now, the disappointment is actually disappointing in knowing that this is an issue. And these are the issues that I showed you in a video I talked about the day before, and I told you Marcus about. So the issue isn't, the disappointment isn't actually me not knowing. It's like, dang, it's true. Isn't that the worst? Is when we realize the idea we had about maybe a person, place, or thing is true. That's what hurts you. Like, damn, that person did do that. I didn't think they would do that. I don't put nothing past nobody. And even when someone says, man, I thought you said you could trust your dogs. I said, but you've also heard me say, trust nobody. I don't trust no dog neither. Now, there are dogs, to be clear, that I've trusted and would trust with my life beyond a reasonable doubt. I would never be worried about Ego going somewhere, to be clear. I would never worry about Zara going somewhere. She's okay with people. She's not dog friendly. But if it's a person, she'll warm up to you, and then she's got your back. One of my favorite dogs is Zara. As a matter of fact, a lot of times to help manage these type of dogs, even when they're not her kids, you need a strong female lead. You really want to build a solid pack, build it around a tough female. There are people who are behavioralists who have messaged me, and we're speaking the same language, because again, in the wild, in the wolves, who runs the pack? The mother. Who does the hunting? Who guides and leads? The mother. And she sits and chews on the food, make sure the puppies get their food, and she doesn't allow anybody to eat till the puppies have eaten. And all the dogs, to be clear, submit to her. Zara is my pack leader, to be clear. Her next daughter, not Cha-Cha, will be an even better pack leader. And if Zara was, hopefully, I'm praying to God she's pregnant. If she wasn't pregnant, I would go get her and let her deal with them for a day. So when they're being tumultuous, chewy, aggressive, who will correct them? She will. Ego and Tron, great dogs. Great dogs. Batman and Cha-Cha, let me be very clear. I'm going to draw a real life puzzle and show you how this looks. They're not even a part of the puzzle. They're part of the plan. They're not the goal. The puzzle does not get built until you're 5. Stay tuned. Take care of your dogs. Why the dogs bit me? Because I didn't do enough as user error. We got more work to do, people.